Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nest Valorant tournament. Tonight, 3 teams are coming together to play some competitive Valorant, and I cannot be more excited. As for the casters tonight, myself, Daniel the Save One Mena. Joining me is Andy Joker Sturm. How you doing, man?
Doing great. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun night, and it's going to be one of the last tournament-style matches we're going to see, as Valorant will go down to go from beta to full open product tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exciting, and I think that we need to expand on that topic a little bit more here, Joker, because we didn't think it was going to come this soon. We did not think Valorant was a couple of days or a couple of weeks out the gate going to go already to full open beta. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I was expecting, especially with the pandemic and having a lot of the rioters having to work from home, delaying a lot of it. I was expecting, August, September time frame to move from the beta to a full product. There's still a lot of bugs and a lot of hitches. We're going to see at least one of the bugs in the spectator client today. So I was expecting a lot of these bugs to get patched out, taken care of, and ready to be handled before we went full live. But I mean, hey, I guess now's as good of a time as any. A lot of people are going to be playing it thanks to having to stay at home and everything. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. I hope they bring either a new operator in, or bring in a new or a new agent, or bring in a new map, or something to revamp what we already have.
What's really cool is that they kind of already leaked the new agent, and they already kind of leaked the new map. So yeah, I've been keeping up with those, of course. And the new map does look really, really cool as well. Kind of a little bit of a, not an Easter egg, maybe like a teaser, is that this map is the oldest one that they've been working on. So it was like the first one they started developing. And I guess it just really wasn't ready for launch, which I'm excited to see like what the kind of like the cool little feature of it is, because every single map that we have has like a cool little feature.
Yeah, we got teleporters, we got a triple site. So I'm wondering what they're going to bring in. Maybe they do both.
Exactly. But let's head on over to the schedule itself here for tonight. We got a couple of hours of really action-packed action. You want to take over this one, Joker? Explain what we see in front of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have a round robin before we get into our final series. Our first match here, we see Volume 0 versus BWC Mods. Then we're going to have, I'm definitely going to mispronounce this, but we have X Predators versus Volume 0. And then BWC Mods and X Predators to round out the round robin.
Exactly. 3 matches back to back to back, and then we're all going home for the night, maybe playing some Valorant, maybe doing other things. But other than that, I'm super excited for what we have showcased for tonight. Of course, we also have the first map as well. Bind. We're going to be watching that one. You kind of touched on what Bind is with the teleporters, but explain why this map is so unique.
The teleporters really are what make it unique, but not that they're not that they're two-way teleporters. They're one-way teleporters, and they're very loud. So you're gonna know if anybody's either going across the teleporter or they're throwing some kind of utility across. Throwing an owl, throwing a smoke, something like that. But you got a teleporter going from A to B and from B to A. The problem is the mid going from A to B is much shorter. It goes literally right across the map. And in order to go from B to A, it's a little harder to get into B, and then it pops you out behind bathrooms in A.
And there's a lot of different strats that have been coming out too. And I feel like Bind in particular does have one of the most strat heavy. It is the most strat heavy map, just because there's so many options on what you could do. Of course, with the teleporters, but also with the different rotations that you could take. Each round's only 1:40. But the map itself is really, really short, so you can rotate even last second sometimes.
Yeah, it's very fast paced. It's not the standard 2 minutes or so time that we've been used to seeing. Now Valorant's got that 1:40, so everything moves a lot quicker. It's a lot more fast paced, and especially with these small maps that we're gonna see, it's really gonna be fun. And like you said, very fast paced and very quick in terms of the rotations. And here we are.
Let's do it. This is finally what it's all come down to, everyone. So we're hopping right into this match. V0 versus BWC. And of course, there's a couple of bugs in terms of the halftime, but I don't want to stress anyone out too much. We'll explain it once we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. BWC, they're on the attacker side. They don't have the Sova, so they're not going to have that easy vision. Now, they do have the Cypher, which will help on defense, but on offense, Cypher's a little bit trickier to work around, but they're trying to make it work as they're getting ready to push in here through Hookah. They've got 3 going in onto that B site.
Yeah, you do see that Speeder is off inside of Elbow, so he's got that situation covered, and Zero are waiting for their last member, as a couple of shots are going to be going out. It's nothing too crazy going off, but we do hear a Cypher tripwire get activated.
Yeah, the tripwire got activated, the cage got activated as well, but they do know it's that B site take, so now they're going to start as they get a trade-off of kills, and another one picked up by Okar, so he's got 2 right off the bat.
Sparkplug not able to finish off the job over on the side. However, it is a 3v3 situation now. Okar getting the work done. And as well, his teammate coming on. Phoenix. Now one more member. BWC having to try and defend this point. It's going to be all up to Noodles as he's sitting inside of Elbow and is not going to be able to do it as the attackers V0 take round number 1.
That was a great round. They were able to execute onto the site, pick up some kills with those frenzies, and really establish themselves here at the start of the game, making sure that they get dominance, they get that first round, get a little bit of buy, some kind of weapons under their pocket, and maybe try to force out, pick up that round 2, and really give themselves that momentum as we keep moving forward in through the match.
I do like the strat that's coming out of V now because they all have Spectres. They all have a little bit of armor for themselves. Curveball in the complete wrong direction is going to find his own demise. It's unfortunate. Red Knight taking out the first one here of the round.
Actually, it's an interesting take because he's not going to flash himself. He just didn't get the shots down in time with that pistol.
Yeah.
Now the Speeder, wow, no chance. Aeon hits the headshot immediately around the corner.
Yeah, you can't exactly cast that one when it's just so incredibly fast. But the Sky Smokes do go out, and V0 are already on the point. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And they want to go to B twice.
Yeah, why not? It's working. They've got the man advantage. Rotation comes around, and Yellow trying to get something. He does get that pick off the side. That's going to help their defense out just a little bit, but they're in a really awkward position. Trapwire gets activated, but he gets taken down.
Ooh, that's already 2 going through. Now, BW, yeah, there's not able to find the kills that they need. They did deny a little bit of credits by getting 1 kill on the point, but Sage going down, I don't think it matters too much.
No, they got that. They did get that kill, so something in the bank, but really wasn't enough to make anything happen. Like we said, V0, they've got the momentum now. They're going to stick with the SMGs, and they do have 1 Phantom. But they're going up against Vandals and Phantoms on the other side, but their economy is looking fairly solid. So even if they end up losing this round or they lose a couple members, they're just going to be able to buy right back in the next round.
So now this is huge, Joker, because BWC do have the correct economy in order to match up versus V0. So gotta watch out for this if they're able to really do anything here. If they're able to get any kills, maybe try and find the correct picks, but it's going to be an immediate push into Hookah.
Yeah, 2 pushing into Hookah. They've got the vision as Uzad. We'll get that shot on the Sparkplug through the wall. They found another one on the site. Maybe that's going to force out the rotation. No! On the other side of the map, the spike will go down. And Aeon will pick 2 up off of the ult.
That's absolutely huge. And now the rotation does have to come through for the rest of V0. Of course, just like you said, 2 got picked up immediately onto the site. It was all thanks to the bait that was done in a short. But the rotation also has to come through for BWC, as right now they're in their own spawn. And they only have Heaven as well as Vents to go through.
Yeah, smoked off, and they're actually taking control of Vent and Heaven pretty well. And the wall is going to continue to push them away. Looks like BWC, they don't want to take a chance. They're going to try to save the rifles, save the weapons when they can, and just back away. It's a smart idea. You're not going to get a retake in this position 2v4. V0, they are completely in control of that A site, so save what you can and know that you're going to have to work a little bit harder there in round 4 as they now got a 3-0 advantage.
It's the big thing that we ended up saying earlier is that they came into the round being even economy with each other, right? So it was all up to pure skill and pure display of rotations and his gun skill in order to take out their opponents, and they were not able to do it. It's 3-0 right now for V0.
V0 looking strong, looking confident. They look comfortable. You know, not a lot of teams will look very comfortable running just SMGs, and yet, you know, V0, they were in complete control. They do finally switch over. So now we've got Vandals, now we've got Phantoms, they've got full rifles. There is a Bucky on the other side, which can be dangerous if you're not careful. But also it really, really negates any kind of mid to long range engage.
Yeah, the Bucky, 900 credits, would have had 2,000 if he did not have the Bucky. So he could have afforded, you know, a better weapon. But he's sitting right now inside of Hookah onto the main box inside and is looking for his main advantage. The only problem is that can the members of V0 actually spot them out?
Oh, Payneck. Paynek's going to pick up and yellow. The Bucky is there, and it's not going to work out. Yizad gets that kill. Grenade will come through to at least push them away, but yeah, just unfortunate. Hey, Jan with another headshot. This man is on fire today.
Oh, he's going crazy for sure. It's just the duo system, right? They don't even have the spike itself. They need to get onto B's site, clear it out, and then maybe ask for the rotation. They can fully rotate as well. You see that Sage wants to go over to it. The wall does go up, but Speeder with 2. That's absolutely massive as well. Ooh. BWC taking out a 3rd.
Yeah, that is great. They now have control over the spike. They know where it is. They're going to actually hunt down, see if they can't pick anything up. They do. Speeder will pick up that 3rd. And it's Aeon versus the world. But he knows where he might know where the spike is. He does. Yep. Can he get it? Can he get that rotation in time?
Got spike.
Of course, we can see where the opponents are as there's a little bit of an X-ray through the wall. One inside Heaven, one inside of Vance. No, he's actually going around. No, he's inside of U-Haul. That's it. Speeder quad kill for himself. Aeon does go down. Diffuse goes out. BWC pick up their first round.
Speeder looks at Aeon and says, anything you can do, I can do better. Almost single-handedly carrying his team to that round victory and putting themselves on the map. And finally being able to do something and maybe stop this momentum, or at least slow it down. Maybe get some more rounds under their belts and try to get this thing evened up. Speeder looking really good there and has the operator. Oh, decides against it. Looks like he didn't have much. Yeah, didn't have much in the bank. No, actually gave it to BWC. So BWC now with the operator.
The gun loadouts from each of these players are definitely very interesting. The operator coming out is a massive one. We saw the Bucky last time get absolutely annihilated. Didn't do too much over on that front. Only problem I see out of V0 is that they didn't travel as a squad, right? They knew exactly how to get onto B and how to defend B. And right when they started to spread out, a lot of competitive teams do that on Bind, but they just could not get it down, which was the big unfortunate thing. V0, though, outside of B, and they want to get on the inside.
Yeah, this is the first time we're actually seeing a full stack. We've been seeing that split a lot between A and B. So now they're finally going full 5-man onto one site. Wall and cage put down to try to slow things up. And the rotation is coming in from BWC as well. Sparkbug is going to pick up 1. It gets the trade by Payneck.
Get 1 and back off was the plan there. Got a little bit too greedy. However, he did end up going 1-for-1 at the end of the day. I don't know if the rotation wants to come out. Phoenix did go 3. Sage, now the spike finally does end up rotating over towards A, and the rest of BWC pull out their knives and they want to run.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mentioned there in the pregame is the teleporters are loud. So you're going to know and Yellow stops Okar in his tracks. But now has a long rotation as there's the operator coming into play. Red Snipe gets sniped. Oh! But Aeon is able to trade it out. Can he get the plant in time? He is 1v3, so he's got to be very careful. But at least get some more credits in his pocket.
Right now it's Sage, Raze, and Cypher versus a lonely Phoenix. Phoenix does have full HP, 1-for-1 trade, but needs to look for a little bit more now. Actually, Sova in the 1v2. Can he find literally anything? It looks like he's lagging a little bit, which is definitely unfortunate, but he is able just to survive for the time being. He does end up getting 1, doesn't get the second one. Noodles taking him out and is able to defuse the spike.
Noodles jumping in and using that slow field to his advantage. He got the slow and made sure that nobody could move. jumped in just in time, stayed alive as well, which was desperately needed. Hey, they've got themselves another round on the board. Things are starting to look better here for BWC. Maybe first round jitters, you know, trying to work out those first couple of rounds here in the map, and now they've got things rolling. Things are starting to look steady, especially behind Speeder and Yellow. Maybe they can make something happen here in this game if those two can continue to play strong.
It was definitely an interesting call, Joker, to take the teleporter last second. They did know that I believe it was 4 members were over on B from BWC, so the immediate call was to rotate. It does look like Silva was AFK for the first little bit, but he is now back. And now, orbital strike going out, but it does not hit anyone just yet.
It doesn't hit, but it slows down the aggression from Volume 0 through that mid. So, I mean, you'd like to see at least 1 kill come through with the orbital strike, but you know they slowed down a little bit as Ayan will pick up yet another one. Bounces that off. It's taken out just in time as BWC got the snipe.
Ooh, Okara as well getting an orbital strike kill over by the backside of A, but now inside of U-Haul, it was a 1v1, and Speeder does get 1, and he's looking for the rest of the 3. Does get flashed for the time being, but as well, Red Knight, he also got flashed. Knows exactly where 2 members are. He's looking for the reset. Speeder, though, does it end up collecting 1 for his troubles. Red Knights now needs to go for the peak.
Yeah, he has to try to get around that wall. Speeder, here's the operator. Sparkplug's coming on a flank as well through bathrooms. Maybe they could get this. Speeder picks up his 3rd. Will he find another quad? No, it's going to be Sparkplug that's going to take that, but 3-3. BWC are now looking strong here on defense.
Very, very strong, and it's all on the back of Cypher, man. He's just going crazy, crazy in his own regard. Maybe we'll see the actual scoreboard very soon, but right now, from what it looks like, V0 just kind of stopped in their tracks, right? Like you said earlier, they took the first 3 rounds. There you go. We get to see Speeder on the top of the leaderboard, 8-3 for himself. To finish off my point, though, we ended up seeing V0 take the first 3 rounds very clean, right? But no, it didn't really work out.
No, they...
Fire in the hole!
But it did quite work out for them. But hey, you know, they're trying to get themselves back in, but they force bot in this round.
Oh, you didn't see him.
Oh, it looks like we did actually have a bit of a team switch. We'll cover that in a second. Sparkplug's going to take 2 before he gets taken down by Yam. But that's a good trade there for Sparkplug. Needed that. Looking good so far.
We thought I even forget their name now. V's on me.
Volume 0.
We thought Volume 0 were the red side, but nope. XO Pro is now what we're watching. Same team though. We just had a little bit of a mislabeling. But Yellow picking up 1. Noodles now with 2 as he goes through the teleporter itself. He needing to find his Ditto opponent. Defenders do end up winning the round at the end of the day. BWC 4 rounds in a row, man.
Yeah, they are actually starting to look strong. Ex-Predators, they were starting off hot. That nice little trade kill at the end almost made it work, but it was, you know, 4v1. At least you could take 1 before you get taken out yourself. Again, Speeder is really doing a lot of the lifting here for his team, which is kind of funny for a Cypher. Not somebody you normally think of as a strong fragger, but when you have the gunplay that Speeder does, you know, you don't necessarily need to play anybody with a lot of extra damage abilities.
Right.
You can just rely on your gunplay and then use that utility later on in the rounds.
A lot of people say that they were very nervous when Valorant was coming out just because of the abilities that were being added to a CSGO-like gameplay. But what was really cool is still seeing the gun mechanics really prevail in a lot of these cases. That's exactly what you saw there in that last round. But now as we see Speeder still on the back of the site, wants to try and peek or allow a little bit of vision to come through for Sparkplug. But inside of Hookah there is 2 members. Spark not able to focus correctly means that Speeder is alone on the site.
Yeah, that's going to be a struggle. He got flashed. Spike will go down, but BWC, hey, he's going to find Red's Knight. So they'll even things up for the time. Another wall coming in as Payneck will trade off with his own operator on Yellow. Speeder's gonna get taken out. Ayan takes down the top fragger for BWC, and this may be X-Predators winning a round, getting themselves back on the winning way. It's a 3v2 so far. 4v2, excuse me.
You do hear the spike now starting to be Okar. Catching out Noodles on the bottom frag of the map, but finally, BWC not prevailing here in this round. We get to see a nice little cinematic shot. Thank you so much, Yeti, for doing that. But once again, this is good. This is going to be the first round in 4 rounds that XO Pro finally end up picking up a round for themselves.
Yeah, and it was something that, I mean, when we saw those first 3 rounds, they looked really strong. We thought, I thought, okay, maybe they could take, a hefty majority of the rounds here in the first half. But BWC mods, they came right back, took 4 in a row. And so now we're seeing the much more of an even matchup than we initially thought after those first couple rounds. And now the buys are all even, but XO Predators have the economy. So if they do lose, they will at least be able to full buy going back into the next round. But obviously they don't want to. So they've now got mid control. Sparkplug sensing somebody's there.
It's a very slow game coming out now for BWC here on defense. XO Pro realizing their own strengths. They realized that B was just kind of the thing that's been hitting every single round. Sky Smokes do go out onto the side as the op shot comes out. Not able to hit anyone just yet, though.
No, but that camera did see somebody in hookah. Didn't land the tracking dart, but at least did see that he was there as the trap wire gets tripped from both sides. And the dart comes in as well. Speeder will pick up 1. Can he pick up a second? No. Shot through the smoke.
Interesting situation that came out there. Even though Scooter knew that 2 members were being hit by a tripwire, one of them was a Phoenix ultimate. Mind you, Payneck is now looking inside of Elbow. Unable to find the picks just yet. The defuse is actually going out now.
Trying. Speeder's going to pick up 3. Tries to get that snipe as Payneck. It does at least stop the defuse. Oh my god, he picks up 3. One with the no scope. But Speeder will pick up another quad. BWC will defend the round. What just a back and forth round there.
We have not seen this player. I can't remember his name. The Sova. We have not seen him pop off this whole entire game. You put an op into his hands, boom, Payneck. That's his name. All of a sudden, he picks up like 3 or 4 kills there in that last round. My goodness, he was popping off. Still, taking the investment, spending it on an op. He knows exactly his strengths.
And sometimes it does take those operator players a couple of rounds to get the feeling, under them and really get a feel for the maps and where the other team is going to go in terms of what corners they want to peek, what angles they want to take. So now Sparkplug has to heal himself up, but is able to get back in there to be short, right over the long. Does see the camera. Is able to take it down.
I think a weird camera that's coming out. I thought that was an opponent's, but apparently not. Regardless, still, X-Pro staying on to their good old trusty roots. Maybe they might want to rotate over towards A, actually. You do see the spike itself going, and I don't think that was the play. The big horn of the portal going out now means that, yeah, they're fully prepared for an A rush.
You think they're only getting 1 rotating through spawn. They heard it. Maybe it was a fake out. It might be that double fake out to try to draw them over to A. They go back to B through Link. There's a lot of mind games with those teleporters as another one's taken over through B.
Yep. The big motto is just sorry. My bad. That was my fault, but sorry. On the site itself, it's going to be a 3v1. Noodles not able to land his shots. It's unfortunate. Okar as well taking out his opponent with the molly. Spike itself has been planted. One thing I was going to say is that you have to watch out for where exactly the spike was going, right? They didn't know if the spike was available. Op shots are traded.
Yeah, they didn't know, and that's key. You're absolutely right. They didn't know if the teleporters were going from A to B or B to A. Right. They did end up rotating all the way through B, and now it's a 4v2 with that op trade, Yazad looking through here and Elbow trying to see if he can't find anybody. The rest of BWC, they're gonna just back away and try to save. It's a smart play. They've only got a couple rounds left though. Still, it's gonna be a 5-5 here in the first half. And this has been a fantastic match here. In the first part of the round robin.
Yeah, I think a tournament that we ended up casting, it was like 13 O's.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I remember that. But now we're actually seeing a match. We see 5-5, almost going to the half here. But what's unfortunate is that both of these teams end up having some bottom fraggers that, you know, they're doing their own in terms of like utility, but they're not exactly getting the shots off that they need to. Noodles over on BWC is 2 and 8.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is for ex Predators, or I'm gonna try this pronunciation and I know I'm gonna butcher it, but I believe
You got this. I believe in you.
Zolitz Kuntel.
That is a hard name.
It is very difficult. But the Predators, their bottom fragger, it is their healer, so it's not necessarily somebody who has to have, you know, all the frags. They're gonna stay in the back and just be that support. So that's at least the positive for them. For BWC, their bottom fragger is one that needs to have the aggressive plays, as we do see here a Hunter's Fury being thrown out through the A site. So that is very aggressive.
Yellow looking for his own advantage. Orbital strike now over towards Bathroom. Does bait out a little bit on that front. However, over in A short is going to be Phoenix. Does end up taking out one as well. He does activate his ultimate. You might want to try and look for a little bit more. He does end up finding one more. Inside of Heaven, though, Okar does end up getting BWC. Watching the back is going to be Payneck, which might want to try and get the last two.
Yeah, this is scary. Speeder is in on site with the operator, very close. But he gets the no scope, proving me wrong immediately. Then switching to the Vandal, picks up 2, ends up getting taken down by Izab. But prove me wrong when I'm about to say it's very tough with the operator, close range. Gets the no scope.
I think the big thing that I was looking for there is to wait for your ally in order to try and 2v4. Right, trying 2v3, but yeah, they didn't do it. Sparkplug does end up saving a little bit, right? He saves his Blaze Wall, he ends up saving the Spectre. Nothing too crazy, but it's still a little bit of a couple credits at the end of the day.
Couple credits. Wasn't able to get to the operator either, unfortunately, so just has that Spectre. Couldn't save it for the rest of his team. Buy out. This is the last round of the first half. Can we see a 6-6 split going into the second half? I would love to see it. That is, like you said, we casted a lot of 13-0s, 13-1s the last time we were together, so this has definitely been a fun flip to now see 5-6 going into the half.
Definitely a different strat as well coming out from Yellow, as he is usually been the one to watch bathrooms, but it's not too effective, right? Because there's a lot of these members on BWC don't exactly go through washrooms, right? There's only maybe one person. So the wall over by A shard, it was massive there. Definitely scouted out where these enemy players were. Phoenix also started his rotation, but he's now back over on B, which is the smart call.
Yeah, they are rotating to B. They kept one in bathrooms, but he's now making that rotation, or at least coming out of bathrooms. Like you said, they hardly ever used bathrooms on that A-site take. It's Payneck. He's going to open things up in this round with that frag on a Noodles. And that is huge for the XL Predators, giving themselves a bit of an advantage as now they go back for this B-site take.
Yep. They've already they've captured at least the initial site itself. We don't exactly know where Speeder is, and they need to try and exactly find where he is. Speeder does end up taking out one though, as Aeon heading into wood steps over a tripwire. So never a fun situation for yourself to be in.
No, and it's smart from Speeder to at least poke his way in and out, and not really get too aggressive. As wow. That trade was very close. Yazad is going to pick up 2. Hey, BWC is going to take him out. Look for the fake defuse, but hey, the orbital strike come in to delay the defuse.
Yup.
Spark plug picking another one up.
The 1v2 could be coming out here as now BWC needs to try and defuse the spike itself, even though they have taken down every single member of X Pros. They are not able to defuse the spike. So now, Joker at the half, we're going 7-5.
Yeah, 7-5 here for XO Predators, and that's a good start here to at least get themselves the first win in the round robin and make it that much easier to get to that best of 3 finals. So here's the halftime bug that we did talk about a little bit earlier. The colors have shifted as to who's on defense, who's on offense, but the round wins did not change.
Yes. So our beautiful observers, our stream director as well as our observer have made it so that for your viewing pleasure, you guys get to know kind of which number each team has, right? So, of course, the 7 corresponds to X Pro, which is on the right side, and then vice versa. BWC has 5 right now. But pistol round, everyone is broke. Okar gets taken down to 34 HP.
He will get that heal, though, and does have the frenzy, so at least we'll have a little bit of an advantage. But the fire comes in, but he's just out of range. But it doesn't matter. Zizad takes one down, and Okar will pick up in yellow as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-for-2, actually, and Noodles with the quick old Kobe. Oh, that was sick. Red Knight onto Noodles. It wasn't a headshot, but it was a little bit. Now, Aeon getting behind the opponent. Speeder as well, pushing aggressive inside of washrooms. Takes down 1. But he's looking for his 1v2 clutch here, Joker.
Yeah, Speeder is definitely going to be the man to watch here for XO Predators moving through the rest of this match. 1v2, he's in bathrooms. They know where he is. Can he get the jump? Nope. Yeah. Red's Knight will pick up another kill. Needed that to push himself up on the board, and they pick up another round, moving ever so closer to finishing out this first match with a win.
Yeah, of course. You had to watch out for the difference of guns there. The Frenzy versus the Classic. There's no real contention. You know, the Frenzy is just way, way better in terms of just pure fire rate and early game aggressiveness. So, in a close range setting, at least. But Classic has been proven multiple times to be a good weapon, regardless of what the argument is. XO Pro, 8, and the opponents with 5.
Switching, trading off flashbangs there. Curveballs going out, and another fire coming out. Aeon can't find anybody. He did see someone coming across that B link, but was not really able to get any damage down. But they know that there's at least one, possibly more, as they do see 2 coming up through B long with the spike.
Of course, we see the perspective where we can see literally everyone inside of the walls themselves, which is the little dots above the heads. But we do hear the ultimate orb actually being taken. Speeder now in a 1v1. Has the ghost for himself, but doesn't exactly have any armor, which means he does lose the 1v1 initially as well. Yellow kind of coming up huge. Goes 1 for 1 in a pistol round. That's definitely massive. Got to watch out for these different rotations that come out as well.
Yo, the spike carrier will go down. Noodles gets taken up by Aeon once again. Red's Knight will get another kill in the mid, and Okar will finish up the round. So Predators move up 9-5. Once again, starting off very strong in the second half.
Yeah, 9-5 is massive, right? Once you start getting to the double digits, that's when you have to start closing out the rounds, right? That's when the nerves kind of get to you. But while we're still in this state of single-digit rounds, this is kind of where XO Pro could potentially come back, right? We've seen the potentials of a team when they finally have the weapons for themselves, and here in this round, literally the exact same buys across the board. Phantom for one person, Spectres for the rest.
And that's gonna create a very close range round.
That's true.
To really get those Spectres into full effectiveness. And now we're finally seeing the first full bathrooms push from a team, and Okar, he's waiting to see if anybody comes out. Spark plug will get the flash in, so they're gonna get at least 1 kill, but gets traded out a couple times, but they will get the plant. Rocket fuse is lit. Nobody's around.
No. There's a couple of members that are now rotating over from B. Of course, Phoenix in the back. Aeon maybe wants to go through washrooms, maybe wants to go through short. Hasn't exactly made up his mind just yet, though. But now onto the site. It's going to be a wide open battle. 1-for-1 trade goes down. Payneck does end up picking up 2. Consistent headshots all across the board, and he doesn't get the last one. Spark Float finishing off that kill. 2v1 situation here on the site itself. Aeon needs to peek these corners correctly. Curveball does go out. Might want to try and stun his opponent, but not going to do it. Speeder finishing off the round. Gets a headshot to Aeon.
Yeah, Aeon, at least the curveball would have gotten the blind, but didn't quite catch that corner. BWC able to at least get themselves another round on the board, 9-6. And it's a little bit tough, but they're starting to make their way back. They're at least making these rounds pretty close to try to keep their economy similar. But we do see a little bit of a forced buy from Exo Predators, just various guns across the board. A Vandal, a Bulldog.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to make anything happen on this defense round. As now we have a 5-man push, 4-man at least through Belong.
Does do a quick jiggle peek. Finds one inside market. Might want to try and look for the sheriff shots, but Speeder, he's got his gun game solid, man. You cannot miss your shots when you're facing Speeder because it's exactly what's going to happen to you.
And Speeder ran him over with that Phantom, and now it's a 4v5, and all 5 members are on the B site. Payneck is behind the smoke, trying to see if he can't find anything. He finds one and gets the kill in the smoke, trying to even things out. Now they know it's going to be a site take. The headshot! Going to pick up his second as Speeder will take down Nizad. Can't get the kill onto Sparkplug.
The run it back is so oppressive. However, Red Knight knew the situation, read it almost perfectly, but Noodles taking him out as well. In a 2v1 situation, Okar has done it before in the past. However, he only has the Bulldog for himself as well as a couple of smokes. Speeder, knowing exactly where his opponent is, needs to peek correctly. Okar, he could win this round for his team.
He's got to be very careful. He's got to get this trade first, but he can't. Noodles will get the headshot, put another round, and get closer to even things up. And we saw this in the first half. A couple of quick rounds taken by Exo Predators, and then immediately the next few rounds taken by BWC, and it's a mirror, so to speak. We've got 2 rounds quickly taken by Exo Predators, another 2 go right back over to BWC, and they are just back and forth throughout this match.
Seeing an endgame wouldn't be too bad, honestly, Joker. I would love to see 12-12 at the end of the day. But right now, 9-7, they're making it close. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say I'd much rather see a 12-12 over a 13-0.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, but that was sick. Starting off the round, BWC. The BWC. So it's the main man of the squad. Pulls out the op, it says see you later. That's it.
Got that sight line, and now Aeon, he can't get the trade onto Speeder. Speeder is really looking good this half. Got a lot of kills there, and now Sparkplug, he's taking the site, trying to see if he can't find anybody to clear out that spike plant.
It's going to be Yi over inside of Wood. He's kind of, he does have some allies with him. He also has, yeah, he's got one. He's got one inside of Vents. So, not a horrible situation, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this going into this site. They need to try and defuse the spike here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting try to take as they've got 2 already. BWC gets a shot. Sparkplug gets one as well into Okar. Now it's just Red's Knight versus the world. And we already knew he's been struggling. And he's not going to be able to get that spike. They're all going to rotate out through the teleporters. And it's going to be another round going over to BWC.
Yeah, 9-8. Definitely interesting. I didn't actually think that X Pro was gonna come back. Honestly, from what they've been showing past the half, or at least for the first couple of rounds, they did not look like a structured team whatsoever. But something changed, man. Something changed. They were able to get the guns that they needed, and I think they do also need to force up here. I think they have the credits too as well, or at least yeah, X Pro. I feel like they need to force up.
Yeah, and I think they are. They're trying to at least but there's no armor, so they've really got to be careful and make sure that they land their shots first. Otherwise, it's another round going over to BWC. That wall off in mid, going to be fairly effective onto that A site. Run it back was used through the teleporter, so at least Aeon was able to see something and at least tell his team, hey, they are moving through A. But now the slow rotate coming back through B through the attacker spawn.
I was gonna say is that they're now rotating. They're gonna run into Aeon here too. He does pull out his weapon because he hears a little bit of commotion going down. Does end up picking up one for one trade at the end of that one. Yellow does end up getting one more orb towards his ultimate, which is nice, right? Maybe on the site for a post plant he could do something. But New World Theft activated from Speeder, knows exactly where his opponents are. 2 on each site.
And that's going to allow them to continue moving through B long. They do have one there in A mid to at least try to distract, but I don't think anyone picked up the operator. Or if they did, I can't quite tell who has it. Payneck is going to throw out the Hunter's Fury, see if he can't pick anything up. Nothing doing. Can't find anybody on that B site.
Wait.
They are coming in. Oh, he gets two!
The Colette! The Colette comes out, and within the last 15 seconds, that was like 6 opponents that died there. That was crazy with all in a couple of seconds. Sparkplug inside of Hookah, all alone, all by his lonesome with only a couple of seconds left. Leave the area, and that is going to be X-Pro taking their first round in actually a little bit.
Yeah, that was needed. We are going to check out this replay of that collat. As you said, just beautiful. Double headshot with the Vandal. And it's crazy. Payneck has been really popping off. We saw him get that triple with the operator in the first half, the no scope as well. And add that to his list of clips. This man is really showing up here alongside Aeon for Exo Predators. Those two need to continue to ball out if they want to win.
It's gonna be Sparkplug that does end up taking out one. That's all you gotta do, man. That's the only reaction you have to have is just, oh my goodness, when headshots go through. An initial pick onto a site is absolutely massive, and that's exactly what BWC were looking for. They need to, however, capitalize on that one kill. And so far, they need to get onto the site. They are able to do so. As well, the orbital strike inside of Heaven, but it's going to be 2 over on the side of X-Pro. Getting out of the smoke is going to be Yellow. Does end up picking up 1 for himself as well. Payneck needs to slow peek out, and he does end up taking out 1 for his shovels as well. But it's the BWC on the back of the site with the operator inside of Heaven. He missed the shot. It's unfortunate, but he has 51 seconds to decide what he wants to do next.
No, he got 2. He got that one into Heaven. He got one into Heaven in the 1v2. Now, with the operator, has the spike, like you said, 40 seconds, still in bathrooms, and they're doing a one-man split on each site. Got that look in Heaven. He can't find anybody.
Nope.
Oh, man.
It's got to be the
BWC.
last second. Sorry. I'm getting excited.
Yizad!
There it is. Oh man, sorry man. When I get excited, man, I start to interrupt people. But anyways, at the end of that round, it's XO Pro taking up 1 more.
Yeah, it's all good here. We're getting excited over this match. It's a good match to get excited for.
Yeah.
So we go 11-8 for Exo Predators, and Yizad gets himself in double digits after that round.
Look at this.
Got the operator in hand as well.
Yeah, 20 for both members of the top fraggers of XO Pro as well, following up with 11s for 3rd and 4th place over on that squad. I can't remember who the last member was. He did have 5 though, which is still all good. We know that X Pro have been using a lot of utility.
They have been. Run It Back was used through the teleporter as well. Saw 2. And then immediately it's taken down by Speeder.
Yeah.
That's huge. Top fragger down early on in the round.
The push still looks like it wants to be over on A site, which is definitely interesting. But now we have one member of EXO Pro, which is going to be Paynak. He's sitting over by Fountain. Takes out Speeder, the top fragger over on BWC. But, it's a 1v1. That corner is always very cheeky. Very, very cheeky. You got to always watch him.
Yeah, Red's Knight finally doing a little bit of work, doing a little bit of help outside of utility, which is good. Exo Predators needed that to stay alive in this round and just keep things moving their way. Found one in heaven. Noodles gets the long shot with the Vandal. The resurrection will come in for Yellow, but Red's Knight will immediately take him right back down.
Yeah. Whenever you res an opponent out in the open, you have to be there as that secondary member in order to shut it all down. But now it's only 2 members. It's only going to be Sage as well as Sova. Spike itself has been planted as well. Now we're looking for the showstopper. Shot into heaven and does take down one. Can he take out the second one? No, he cannot, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. And now BWC have taken yet another round, making it 11-9.
Trade so much back and forth throughout that round. It was a very back and forth round that could have went either way. Showstopper comes out just in time to turn the tables in favor of BWC, and now looks like they got the full buy in. Noodles had to buy for BWC, but they've got the rifles all around, so we kind of see another smattering of weapons for EXO Pro.
Yeah, we'll see how they can use it here, because this match is so incredibly close. You cannot be comfortable whichever side you are on, especially if you're EXO Pro. Right? Even though they have 11, even though they're only 2 rounds away from winning this thing, they haven't been looking too good over the past couple of rounds. However, it's a brand new one. So now it's all about team play and where exactly they can rotate to at every single second. A lot of intel being seen as well.
Oh, Paynek with the Hunter's Fury. He caught at least one with the Owl. Can he get another kill?
That's
yes!
massive.
Yeah, takes down BWC, which is clutch. And that will actually force the rotation back over towards A, it looks like, as Aeon might find somebody. Walls out on either side.
Yeah. They're both kind of questioning themselves right now, right? Even though we both thought A was going to be the rotation coming through. And even though one member, it's going to be the Cypher, is rotating currently, a lot of these members are trying to find their own little cheeky angles. Aeon, it's unfortunate that he does have the Spectre for himself, but he's able to make it work. Noodles gets taken down.
Yeah, got that peek, saw the boom bot, took it out, and was able to just slide over with just enough space to pick up that kill. As now we do see the Spike rotated over towards A. Red's Knight's going to take one down. Gets traded on.
Oh,
but that's huge, as Aeon will pick up Sparkplug, and now with the Spike down on A, they know exactly where it is. He's going to end up going down to the orbital strike. They're going to get the defuse and move up 12-9 from match point.
My goodness. It was all thanks to the orbital strike. Of course, when you're in a 1v4, you can make it work. That kind of scared me for a second. I thought they were all going to teleport. Yeah, of course. When you're in a 1v4, the 1v4 clutch can come out. And if anyone is going to do it, it's going to be Scooter, but Speeder, my bad. But yeah, he gets caught out last second.
I have seen a 1v5 defensive ace and clutch happen, but I've only seen it once in I don't know how many hours of playing and casting I have done. It is very rare and very tough to do.
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to be super, super aware as well. You have to peek every single corner correctly, right? If your opponent's on the right and you peek left, that's it. The game's over at that point. However, it's going to be amazing sprays that come through from Aeon. Interesting from Sparkplug as well, to just kind of run out. He was trying to catch the miss spray. Wasn't able to do it, which is unfortunate.
And no, and that's gonna, but they're still gonna push in 4 members onto B. They are there in Garden, trying to push through. Wall is up on the side. There's still 2 defenders over on the A site, so EXO Predators have to be careful. Aeon couldn't land the shots, and Yellow will take him down.
It's gonna be a 4v4 at the end of that little trade, and this is going to be match point here as well. EXO Pro have to come up huge, and they are the ones defending right now. Pre-firing shots are going out over towards Suicide, but no one exactly is in that corner. The 1v1 inside of Elbow, not able to take anyone out. Noodles now has to reload here. Rez does come out and gets taken out. 2 for 2 trade. 3 actually, and Paynek ends up winning that one. Orbital strike over towards Tuka as well, as he does get taken now. BWC taken down for the last kill of the round, and it's going to be XO Pro taking the game.
Yeah, XO Predators, they were able to make that defense happen off of the last couple of kills there from their bottom fragger, who really turned up in that round, needed that to get themselves that win and move on, get themselves a little bit closer to that final round, that final best of 3. One win under your belt, that's really good. That puts you in a great standing to move forward.
My goodness. That was only game 1. We still have 2 more to go. We still have 2 more to go. And that was such an amazing one, for sure. Both teams displayed amazing practices within themselves. And oh my goodness, I'm still out of breath from that.
It was great. Just back and forth, both teams executing game plans very well on both sides, both on offense. A lot of late rotations coming in, fake rotations, double backs. Both teams really showed up well, but it was the gunplay from the XO Predators that put them forward and allowed them to get that much closer to that best of 3 final. We'll have to see if they're going to get the run back against BWC or if they're actually going up against Volume 0.
I think that's going to be it, at least for game number 1. So we'll be back with game number 2 in just a little bit. So, of course, do not go anywhere. We have some more Valorant action coming up in just a little bit.
to you. It doesn't really not wanna break me, but I'll stand by you. It could take a billion days, but I see it through. I climb the highest mountains, baby, just to be with you.
Greetings, villains, vigilantes, heroes, and heroines.
You're tuned in to Project Supervillain. We're your hosts. I'm Mark Drifter.
I'm Midnight White, and you're watching us here on Nest. That's National Esports Tournament based out of Toronto, Canada. Make sure you go check them out for any and all things esports related, if that's your jam. Speaking of jam, have you heard of our Review Jam series?
Well, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, the Review Jam series is essentially a series we review 3 random indie titles made by 3 random indie developers. And our upcoming episode, we'll be reviewing 3 very intriguing titles, all showing a lot of promise.
First on our list is Nothing in Sight, a narrative-driven epic where you will guide 4 French soldiers through their tour of duty in the trenches of Ypres during World War I.
An isometric point-and-click strategy game where you need to manage your resources, as well as the constitution and morale of your soldiers while they are constantly bombarded relentlessly by the enemy force.
More of a concept than a game, Photobomb will have you using social media and image tracking to uncover the identity of an assailant who, only moments ago, triggered an explosive device in a populated city.
Using the last few minutes of footage before the explosion, you will use positioning and environmental info to accurately pinpoint your target, but be careful not to persecute the innocent.
Experience the realities of an unforgiving dystopian future from a much more vulnerable perspective in Orphan Age, a deep and expansive life sim that will place you in the shoes of your very own orphan to etch out an existence among the dangers of the cyberpunk city in which the game is set.
Tough decisions, touching interactions, in-depth resource management, and survival elements are characteristics of games in this genre, and Orphan Age presents its own take on these components, and they've done a fine job of it.
So while all of these games may be very early on in development and we're not exactly sure of the future of some of them, they're all still super inspirational games, so we had to show them to you. So make sure you come and check them out.
Make sure you tune into Nest at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, live every Friday, where you can catch our premieres and streams afterwards. That's Nest HQTO on all your favorite streaming platforms.
And again, we appreciate all the support, guys. So until next time,
Project dismissed.
peace out.
When you want to get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.
from beneath the sand. The instinct with me grows seems so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day. I know the reason she takes. I know the reason she's so far away. I know the reason she takes. I know the reason she's so far away. Nico, how could we run from everything we have done? It only takes us one more day to fall. Nico, how could we run from everything we have done? It only takes us one more day. Nico, how I know the reason she takes. Nico, how I know the reason she's so far away. Nico, how I know the reason she takes. Nico, how I know the reason she I know the reason she takes. I know the reason she's so far away. I know the reason she takes. I know the reason she's so far away. She's so far away.
Hanging by a thread, hung upon all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around.
Hold on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nest Valorant tournament. Muted my mic. It's all good. It was my test. It was my test intro. Of course, my name is Daniel, the Save One Meta. Joining me on this cast is Andy Joker Sturm. How are you feeling after game one?
It was good. It's Jeliscoutme Predators.
Yeah.
We learned a little bit about them in the break. It's a breed of Mexican hairless dog. So do want to apologize if we maybe offended anybody or messed anything up, but they came out the gate strong. We saw a lot of back and forth. They came out strong for a few rounds, lost a few rounds, and came back with another few rounds.
Right.
It was very streaky back and forth, but they played well enough to pick up the victory, get themselves that closer to the final.
Exactly. And heading into game number 2, we don't exactly know the teams. We don't exactly know the map itself, but that's what makes this way more exciting, is that we all get to find out together. I just got word that it's Haven, and of course that is the 3-site map, and that's always fun to watch.
Haven is probably my favorite map so far,
Me too.
simply because it's just that much different with having the 3 sites. And instead of, having to worry about, are the attackers going just one site, going the other site, now you have a third site, which instead of going one side on the left, one on the right, now you have that one in the middle. So where are they going to go? Are they going to rush B through garage? Are they going to rush C through garage? Are they going to go straight up through A long? It's really adds a lot of mental gameplay to the map, not just, are you going one side or the other? Now you've got the 3 sites to worry about. As it is, Jeliscoutme Predators against Volume 0. Now, if the Predators can pick up this match, they are in the finals without a doubt. They pick up 2-0, 1 over each team. If Volume 0 pick up this match, then we could have ourselves a good old-fashioned Mexican standoff where it's a 3-way tie 1-1 apiece.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many different options as to how this game could end up, but at the end of the day, it is going to be sort of a C courtyard split with one member of V0 actually DC'd. It looked like he was back for a second, but hopefully he had these problems in the last map, but it's all good. Zephyr, back of the site, does have the ghost for himself. With this weapon, you do have to hit the headshots in order for it to be really, really effective. However, the rotation does come out.
Yeah, they do make their way up towards garage. Looks like they're going to try to take control of garage to move to C. As Woo Mochi Woo. Mochi picks up the first frag here, and that's for Volume 0, I believe. And now here in the B site, Rippin' Pippin, he's waiting. Can he get the kill? No, he gets taken down by Red's Knight, who's got himself on the board after a rough first round. Favron gets the kill from behind.
That's an awesome name. I love that. But the last member of V0, of course, is AFK. It's always really weird seeing the death icons be Phoenix, and Phoenix is the only one remaining. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's rough. I believe that's actually for the Predators, who is a DC. So it looks like it's V0 Volume 0 going to pick up the first round here on defense. So it's a good look and a good way to start there for V0.
Yeah, good. Just like you said, a good start for sure. We don't have the reconnect coming through just yet. Hopefully he can be back within the next little bit. Regardless, though, from what we end up seeing, maybe they might want to wait for him. Maybe they might want to restart this match. I'm not too sure. We'll get word soon.
That goes there.
And we'll see exactly what's happening. The disconnects are very unfortunate, especially in this tournament type setting, and try to make sure that we can at least make things a little bit even here for both teams. Camera goes out on A long, doesn't see anybody, but that's gonna be the Predators moving themselves in through mid, trying to see if they can't take the B or the C site. Stavron, he's got that shotgun waiting behind the doors for anybody to nonchalantly walk their way through.
It's always the strat that comes out here in round 2, round 3-ish is where you have a judge, or he finally reconnected. That's cool. But you have the judge, you have a Bucky, you sit inside of garage and you just wait for your opponents to walk on through. But now with Aeon connecting, does want to try and tackle over on A site, or at least they all want to tackle A site as a squad, with Aeon not exactly having a weapon for himself.
Which, thinking about it though, it's okay that he doesn't have a full weapon. I mean, it's they did end up losing that last round, so it's not like he really would have been able to get much off of it anyway. Tripwire is tripped, and Rip and Pip is going to pick up a kill off of that. They did find another one. Weren't able to take her down just yet. There we go. Rip and Pip takes the second, and that wall on short is huge, funneling them in for some kills.
Yeah, there's a lot of lineups that are coming through. Rippin getting one more for himself. Wants to try and look for the ace itself inside of sewers. It's going to be a little bit of shots. Not able to take anyone out as Oni does end up peeking. But it's going to be the Spectre that takes out two. And it's going to be Exo Pro taking their second round.
Yeah, that is actually Volume 0. Looks like we have the names switched around.
Really?
So, yes, then looks like the names are switched around there in the overlay. We'll get those figured out here in just a second. But that is Volume 0 taking the second round. Looking very strong, but the Predators, they do have a bye coming through. They'll start to get some weapons under their belts, and we'll see if that will turn the tides in their favor. They all have Phantoms, so they'll at least have some gunplay and armor behind them. They want to make this work. Another camera through A-Long, doesn't see anybody. It's all five around the C site.
Now wanting to try and converge onto the site itself. It's going to be over by Platt. Payneck with two. Using Jet to his advantage. The very, very aggressive agent is able to get onto the site and just completely clear it herself.
Yeah, a lot of people in pub games don't like Jet. They don't feel like she's very strong. But if you can use her effectively, use that mobility to get up and take the sites very, very quickly and aggressively, it can work out as Oni's going to take down Red Snipe, try to retake the site. Okar's going to pick up two, though. And a great aggressive play. Haynek picks his third up, and that's going to be the Predators picking up their first round of the match.
Yeah, that's massive for themselves as well. We've seen them multiple rounds in a row at least try and do something, but finally being able to take a round for yourselves is really, really good.
And we did get the names there switched over. So
There we go.
V0 on the green side on the defense, Predators on the red side on offense. And yeah, hey, another round here for the Predators. They've got the bye coming up as well. We're gonna see tricky little camera position through the trees, but he can't quite get it properly. But those are some interesting camera placements that can really catch teams off guard.
Yep. You also don't have a whole lot of time in order to set those up, as there's very, very minimal seconds.
Whoa!
Ripping with two. That was huge. Payneck was able to get onto double boxes and one over by Long. And now it's all up to Oni to try and do the 1v1 situation. However, Mochi has gotten onto the site. Thavron as well with the flash onto Long. It's going to be two members. Aeon is the last one remaining. Has his ultimate available as well. If he wants to use it, is going to use it over by Long. Slow his opponent with a couple of shots into the back, but not take any kills for himself, as he does exactly know where one is. Second one is going to be right with them, and the headshot comes through to secure the triple.
Yeah, that was right on time, and now it's a 1v1. He's got back to full health. Thavron has 2 HP. Any shot will do it, but if Thavron can get the shot out first, he may be able to win this, but it's going to be an interesting play. 30 seconds left on the clock. Not sure which way they want to go. Thavron's trying to figure out if it's going to be an A or B site plant, as Aeon creeps through A long, really making it work for himself. He's going to be able to get onto the site with ease and get the plant with a lot of time left to spare, checking all his corners just to make sure he's going to get the plant. And across the map is Thavron. He's got to decide if he wants to go for that A site take or just save and back off.
Mind games coming through in this 1v1 situation. Aeon, 100 HP, 2 armor. His opponent only has 2. Sorry. Does also have a lot of utility for himself, but didn't exactly want to use any of it. That's exactly why you pick Breach, is because you have a lot of utility to spare, and they're also very, very strong. So he could have zoned off the site itself, however, didn't exactly want to do that. Costed the rest of his team at least a W.
That's okay. Save
That's
it
good.
up for this round. It's one of those decisions where do you use it now to try to win even though you have 2 HP, or do you save that utility for the next round and not have to buy it? But Aeon pulling back his winning ways from the last match, saw how strong, how aggressive he can play. He's continuing that aggression. Now all 5 members were seen at C long, so now Predators trying to make their way up through CV. Zephyr has that Bucky, and is just trying to see if he can't find anybody through the smokes. Finds one, but can't get the shots down.
Yeah, exactly. Orbital Strike does end up dropping onto the site, rolling no, it's the fault line. Just to stun the member in the back of the site itself. They're waiting for the crossfire to come through, and it has worked very, very effectively. Does do a little bit of a peek, and is left on 4 HP. Aeon Payneck as well. Taking down the last 2 members. Exo Pro, my goodness. They pulled out their trump card.
Oh yeah, and like we said, very streaky team are the Predators we saw from that first round. They won 3, lose 3, won another 3. Here they lost the first 2, but they come firing right back. They really executed onto that C site very well, had all the angles covered, and like you said, crossfire. There was just nowhere that V0 could go to really get anything done. And now Predators take their first lead of this match.
Slow peek goes out into window with a 1v1 battle. Thavron versus Cypher. Well, no one's able to win at the end of the trade as well. Flash just to see if the enemy was going to still peek him. But they both end up backing off for their troubles.
Yeah, and that smoke down through B mid outside of windows, pretty huge. Panic can't see anybody. Although with the boxes and the angles that they're placed, it's kind of tough to see anybody unless they really do a wide peek or they jump over the top. But he's holding that angle just to make sure as they start to move themselves up. They do have one on C long to just find anybody else's. Panic will pick up one on Emochi. The smokes are going to come down from both teams, blocking off different angles of the site. That Molly comes out too to stop the push in through mid.
Operator for Payneck, but he does want to back off for the time being. Maybe he wants to go over towards A. The spike itself hasn't exactly committed to a site either. So there's definitely multiple members of Exo Pro that are looking across this map as potential opportunities. A couple of pings do go out onto C site itself. Okar taking out one. A 1v1 goes down inside of Garage as well. Okar picking up the second one. Might want to look for the Ditto Brimstone. But it's all 5 members that have entered onto the site. Payneck with a beautiful, beautiful off shot. And now it's just Rippin versus the world.
Yeah, Rippin's got the Phantom Kitty. Nope, he gets taken down by the Ditto on Izad. Flawless go the Predators. They pick up 4 in a row, looking very strong.
Yeah, these guys look absolutely deezed for sure. Won the first 2 rounds, lost the next 2, and then end up winning these. If you gotta keep up that consistency though. This is the big thing that we have to watch out for them. Look at the weapon comparisons, Joker. V0 does not want to save whatsoever. They want to force immensely.
Yeah, they try to force everything, and it's showing that their forcing is really not working. They really should try to save Econ, get themselves back to a gun round to make things even. And they're struggling on these gunfights. They're just not making anything happen. Camera can't find anybody through A, as we got 3 sitting in mid window, 1 outside of the doors, and 1 at C long.
Thavron having to get up close and personal if he wants any sort of kills with this weapon. Of course, the Judge does a lot of damage close range. And even though it's very, very consistent in terms of weapon rate of fire, it's not really so good damage over time. Gotta watch out for all the possibilities to come through. Aftershock does go out. Oh, but it's Aeon onto the site itself. It's 1-for-1 trade, though.
Yeah, Aeon will open things up and force... that's the rest of the team rotating actually through short 2C. They'll pick up 2, and the Cypher ultimate will come out as well. They're going to know exactly where everybody is. The plant comes out on C, and now they can start to hold the angles. And a 2v4 site take here on C is not going to be easy. Mochi's in Garage. got the res, so at least we'll make things a little bit better with a 3v4.
If anyone is going to do it, it had to be Oni, but just as I say that, it's 2 already going down. Mochi not able to return frag, so he escapes his situation alive and might want to just defend his angle. There is one going by over in T-spawn, taking him out. Okar is the last member to get a kill, and that is so many rounds in a row, making EXO Pro 5-2.
Yeah, the Predators are looking very, very strong. And look, like you said, look at the gun differential. Look at the econ differential. We've already got Aeon, who's sitting at the 9k cred max. Now, he will have to buy armor, so that will dip down, but everybody's sitting on over 7,000 credits. That is massive for the Predators. They can lose a couple rounds and still feel very confident that they have the economy, the gunplay, to be able to pick up the rounds as they need. And we saw a Bulldog and almost nothing else for V0.
Yep.
Really struggling to find a foothold.
They need to save at least 1 round. They need to at least just give up 1 and just allow yourselves to catch back up in credits. And it really, really helps at the end of the day. Rather than just scrounging for whatever you can find, it's going to be Zephyr. That, yeah, he doesn't exactly find too much. Aeon does have his ultimate available for himself and has used it. Run it back is now activated, shooting through the actual barrier wall. Not scouting anything out just yet, as he does end up actually running it back. Payneck, though, with the operator, has shown immense signs of potential. Oh, ripping on the site itself. Diffuse is actually going to be coming out. Oni! My goodness! Orbital strike onto the sites. What is happening?
That was massive. They tried to get the defuse in. Can they get it? Oni's gonna pick up one and trades back and forth. Rippin can't find the final kill. Okar will make sure that his team goes up 6-2, but back and forth. Almost saw a sneak defuse behind the wall. I mean, Volume Zero, they tried. They found some way to at least get back to the site, block off, and at least try to get themselves to a defuse. Can't make it happen. Now we're gonna see a full SMG buy from Volume Zero, but again, they're going up against just they're getting smacked by the wallets of the Exo Predators.
Yeah, it's Spectres all across the board. What are Spectles? What are Spectres able to do versus the full pressure of a Phantom? Not too sure. We're gonna have to see as this round continues to go on. Exo Pro having a beautiful advantage over their opponents. They know exactly where they are in terms of score and how ahead they are in terms of just pure mental play. You need to get onto a site, though, in order to try and do anything here.
They're waiting. I like the slower play from the Predators. The problem is if they get too slow, it's not going to really be effective. But Payneck immediately makes me eat my words. Picks off Zephyr. Tavron can't get the trade. Mochi goes down as well. So 5v3 already here for the Predators as they move on to the C site.
Absolutely massive coming through here as well. Payneck, there you go. 1 for 1. Ends up going down inside of Garage itself, but it's going to be Oni taking down Yi. Now having to get onto the site is the main goal of the rest of V0. However, they have a massive wall, which is just going to be 4 players and a quite literal wall that separated them and the opponents. So now maybe just looking for exit frags, maybe just looking for a save here is exactly what Rippin as well as Brimstone are going to do.
Yeah, they are going to back away back to the A site, though, and that's going to mean that the Predators, they'll pick up their 7th round in a row, and they rotate back towards the spawns, and they are just looking just super strong here in this matchup. We saw them play even against BWC, but now they are really coming into their own against Volume Zero, and it's gonna be a massive uphill climb for Volume Zero if they want to get back into this and not lose very quickly.
Gotta watch out for the rest of these rounds here, Joker, because Exo Pro are making it so that their warm-up game was actually a warm-up game itself. They now know exactly where to go, what to do on Haven. It looks like this is kind of their home turf. V0 have taken 2 rounds, which was very early on into the match, and that is when they ended up actually having some ARs for themselves. But now, when they continuously scrounge for a loss bonus as well as just pure weapons, what are they able to do with it? Oni does have a Phantom, so that's kind of it.
Yeah, it's something, but it's not enough right now. They don't really have a lot of utility either that they're using effectively. Wall will come out, and they're gonna try to sneak themselves into that corner, get the plant, and just barely. Red side has to back away, but will at least stay alive. But I like that wall placement. They're able to
That's
sneak
huge.
into the corner and then easily defend it.
It's a nice orbital strike to start off the round itself, as Oni does end up taking out 1. That's massive. It's going to be Yi but it's red. And now with 2 immediate shots, they have to get over towards the spike. The spike is going to be diffused over to half, and they have no idea that Mochi is on it. And that is it. They did not peek in time. Oh, V0 take 1 round. Exo Pro, they're still looking for kills at the end of the round.
That was beautiful from V0, using the wall, their own wall, to their advantage. But I gotta say, that was hilarious. Payneck gets a no-scope headshot at the end of the round. But how brilliant is that from Volume 0? Use the Predator's own playbook against them, and at least use the wall to make it much easier for them to defuse. And the Predators, it's an uncharacteristic lack of aggression to move back in to try to stop the defuse. As now they looks like they're gonna try to go through A for the first time, or at least through A long for the first time in this match.
Ooh, the peak did come up, but Payneck was not there with the return. Sky Smoke going down onto B side itself is now not a rush, but an A push going to be set up for the rest of the squad. As well, Payneck makes his way over into sewers and wants to try and back up his member, which is going to be Yi. He has to play a little bit of limbo with this, but he does end up going up above ground. Getting the headshot as well is absolutely massive, as now getting 2 for himself. No one knew that he was up here. The 2 members of this squad are above on these pillars, and they have just a beautiful, beautiful advantage as the spike does go down.
That's the Rolling Thunder onto the site. The Sky Smoke comes down as well to block it off. But Oni's going to pick up 1 off the wall. Zephyr trades up back and forth. 1 in heaven. Can he get the kill? No, he can't. Gets taken down. 1v1. Zephyr up in heaven with full health and full armor against the 26 health here of Okar.
Got him.
Yeah, he knows where he is with that recon bolt. Okar can't quite get the plant either. Doesn't have the spike. It has to really be careful. It's a wide open view from heaven, but he doesn't know that Zephyr is rotating down. Spike is picked up. Can he get it planted? At least 5 seconds left. Nope. No, he can't.
No way.
He's gonna try to go for the kill. He gets it. He gets the kill through the wall with 3 seconds left.
No way. He went for the 50-50 shot of stopping the plant and getting... That was the most explosive round. My goodness, that was huge. Like, that was the last second. That was the last second bullet that hit. Oh, that... yeah.
I can't imagine the comms for the Predators after that pickup. Okar is a god for getting that.
There had to be one member in the comms that were like, "What are you doing?" And then they just stopped talking. That would have been me, at least. That would have been me.
Having been in that position where you're trying to say, "What are you doing?" and then immediately the teammate makes the play happen, you just have to shut up. There's nothing you can do.
Yep.
As now again, the aggressiveness through C picks up them 2 kills and the C site take.
Maybe it was just a lucky round here, Joker, and that's all that V0 was able to get done. Oni does end up getting res, though, for his troubles, as Mochi now is able to use the resurrection. It's a 4v4, actually, coming down at the end of the plant. The plant spike. The spike plant, my bad, it's 1-for-1. Oh, Aeon.
Aeon pick it up where he left off, picks up another few, and Red's Knight gets himself back on the board. gets the resurrect as well. So they swing the numbers in favor. Rippin trying to make it happen, but Aeon will pick up 4 and move his team up 9-3. As they really look strong there at the end of the first half.
Oh, yeah.
And now with V0 on offense, can they do anything to make this match more even, or will the Predators just continue their aggression and continue their domination through this match and go 13-3?
Got to be done here, Joker, and this is exactly when V0 have to kind of put their big boy pants on. So far from what we've seen out of them was a lot of inconsistencies. They have no idea how to save. They don't exactly want to save. They want to scrounge for whatever credits they can every single round. And honestly, this has just been their biggest downfall. But heading into the half, everyone is broke. Everyone starts off with the same credits. So they maybe have a chance at redemption.
I like that sneaky wall. Paynek is going to stay up to try to find anybody in mid, but nobody's there. They're all going in through C. They're through garage, they're through long. Rippin's going to take one down. They get the trade as Red Knight. Red Knight will pick up a kill onto Thavron. Gets the heal. Can't get the kill as Paynek will actually come around to pick that up. Picks up 2. Spike is down.
Yup, it's going to be the classic long shots that go through. Oni does end up winning it with the ghost, but an immediate dash onto the side is not exactly what you wanted to do. Red Knights is inside of garage and is trying to look for the last 2 members of this squad, with Brimstone on very low HP. Cypher almost on 3/4. What does Red Knights want to do?
I like this. The flank couldn't get the kill though. He's going to try to pick anything up. Picks one up. He's not going to be able to get. Can he get anything? No. Rippin Pippin gets his 3rd. Plays a little do-si-do around the boxes to win that round.
That is going to be the round itself. Just like you said, it's 9-4 at the end of that little trade. V0, I said it at the beginning of the round, is that they had to come up huge at the half, and they were definitely able to. I feel like, honestly, dude, I know I continue kicking a dead horse, but if they can get their economy down, like if they can really like know how to save, know how to buy at what points, I feel like this team could be really good.
They're showing good mechanics and a decent knowledge of maps and when to use utility, and that's half the battle. The other half of the battle is knowing when to save their economy, as Yizad with that huge camera, that great camera spot. We'll see V0 coming in from A long, and now full sight take. Couple kills picked up. Paynek will at least get one before he goes down, but Thavron will pick up another one from long.
Yep, and the immediate retreat into long was the plan as well. Okar is behind and does end up taking out 1. That is almost unheard of with a classic from that range as well. At this point in the game, they tried to scrounge for whatever they can find, and they're not going to be able to do it because the Bulldog and Spectre Force was able to take the round.
They do get a couple kills, so at least a couple other members will have some extra money in their pockets for this round. This will be their first buy of the second half, and that's, we saw this in the first match, and we're seeing it again. Predators, they struggle with these pistol rounds sometimes, but once they can get a buy under them, they've not shown that they can be stopped, really, except by some really sneaky plays. So this is going to be where Volume 0 have to step up. They have to stop this gun round before the steamroller can get going.
Oh, right. With little seconds remaining, it's a 3-man flash, and he takes out 1. Now trying to look for a couple of more members, but the blind shots are way too much. Okar inside of garage window takes his opponent down to very minimal HP. But now having to get onto the site is going to be Red Knight, but through the smoke, Thavron takes him out. Now getting onto the site itself is going to be Paynek with 1. With 2 is going to be Okar. Oni now with 2 for himself. Kills all across the board. Does also have the orbital strike if he wants to escape his scenario and just use it last second on the spike itself. Gotta watch out as the diffuser is going to be going down as well. We see the orbital strike go out as well as an amazing aerial shot that came out. That honest, I started scrambling over my words. That got me really excited. Sorry.
That was a beautiful viewer observer. It's fantastic. Yeti has been doing a great job tonight there.
Yeti's the goat,
especially with those aerial views. And that was unfortunate because I think Yizad could have gotten away if he had just run straight down towards C Long. Problem is, I don't know if he really would have had enough time to get back to the bomb to get a full defuse. But again, and that's actually exactly what Volume Zero needed. They needed to stop the Predator's gun round in its tracks.
Yeah.
And now they can start to climb their way back up through this match.
Definitely interesting. Payneck forcing up this round and uses his ultimate now with the reset onto 2. Inside of Sewers is going to go crazy, but needs to try and look for his opponents. But the reload time, or at least the time that it took from his dash to then end up shooting once again, was not in his favor. Okar through the back, does have a classic for himself. Might want to try and look for the shots.
Yeah, let's go see what he can do. Alt Fire's going to pick up one. That's huge. And Aeon will pick himself up one as well onto Thavron. And gets the Phantom for good measure. That alt fire from the classic, a lot of people don't expect it. And there's the Thrifty coming in for the Predators off of the save. They're able to take down, get a lot of kills as we're going to check out this replay. That is huge for Payneck. Picks up 2 very quickly with the ultimate. And the headshot with the alt fire. Oof.
Oh, it's so good. I'm pretty sure he had a little bit of help. Either that or Okar was on low HP because of the jet. I think she was able to land at least 1 shuriken on Okar. But that's about it. Regardless, we do see a B push actually come through here inside of Courtyard. All 5 members are actually in this area, as the members on A are actually pushing up here.
Yeah, I like this flank play. They're still holding. Red Knight's still holding the backside of B, but it looks like V0 may try to make their way over towards the C site. Rolling Thunder comes in onto B to push everyone off. Red Knight's going to pick up 1 at least, but gets taken down, and there comes the orbital strike. Try to push anyone away from the middle of that B site.
All the utility coming down onto the site itself, is now we have to see through every single side on who is able to get the kills. It's going to be Yi with 2, Payneck now with 1. Zephyr is the last one remaining, peaks at literally the correct, just exact time, 50 HP in a dream, and they're not able to do it. Yet another round going into the favor of XO Pro.
Yeah, they went double operator in that round, but it was the pistol that ended up winning. That was actually really smart play. I really like that. You missed the op shot. You can go straight back over to the pistol to try to pick anything else up, or at least do a little bit more damage so your teammate can clean up and win the round. They're able to do it now, 2 rounds away from winning, going 2-0, getting a clean entry into the finals. We'll have to see if the Predators can really make it happen. I love this camera. I love that camera positioning. It is beautiful. You just don't expect it on that A site. The problem is that V0, they're looking towards C.
It's gonna be Aeon with the operator. He's looking for the flank to come out. He's ended up seeing 2, and he didn't shoot. Well, he did. He did shoot, but he wasn't able to get any kills. So now he retreats back of sight itself. Red's Knight with a really nice rush, and through the wood of both Sages shoot each other. It's gonna be the side of V0 that come out in that trade.
Yeah, and they get the plant as well onto the C site. Payneck will even things out though. Picks up another one with that operator. Dashes himself in onto the site. Can he get it? He gets that very close point blank shot. Misses just by a few pixels, but Izad's there on the flank. Can't get the one in Cubby, but it's a 1v1 with Aeon. Sitting. Now he's going to have to go through the wall. Yep. I like the Hunter's Fury, though.
Diffuse wanted to go down with the Hunter's Fury in the distance, but the immediate rush has to come out as well as the kill. If he really wanted to do anything, all members are dead. Can he actually get this defuse?
It's going to be so close. No, he was about 3/4 of a second from getting that defuse. It's unfortunate. That's huge for V0. They get a bunch of kills. They get the round win as well. That's massive.
It is such a 50-50 situation, Joker, as well. Whether you decide to rush the member with the Hunter's Fury, right? Because when you're in your Hunter's Fury, you need 2 shots of it in order to actually kill someone. So when you're in that animation, you can't exactly turn your mouse and stop the animation or anything of that sort. So the immediate rush was really, really good, but maybe needed to be done a little, like literally 0.7 seconds sooner.
Aeon, so many sheriffs can't get the kill. Zephyr's gonna get the quick trigger. Oh, but
That
Okar!
was sick.
Oh, that's dirty! That's dirty, Okar!
You monster! On C-side itself, it's going to be 3 members with free firing shots over towards Garage because he does see a little bit of mishap happening. Red's Knight might want to just wait for his healing orb to come right on back up, but the immediate push is going to be coming out. Okar, Panic is actually on the site itself and has activated the ultimate itself, has used every single one of the charges, but the Sheriff coming through, headshot goes through as well. Over by Long is going to be 2 members of this squad. The Rez as well coming out. The Bulldog transfer is not able to actually be activated, and it's going to be Red Oni now with 1 transfer not able to do it either. The fuse is successful, and we're on match point.
That is huge. Red's not able to get the defuse while the rest of his team picks up the kills. And this was huge. Again, Okar with the double headshot. Just massive. Now, that was actually very clutch. Getting that second headshot without getting taken down. That was absolutely needed. Match point here. Double op setup again for the Predators. Payneck and Aeon with the operators. Payneck with 22 kills this round. Really putting his team on his back to try to get this win and move on to the finals.
What we have to watch out for is what are they able to do actually with this weapon.
Whoa!
Payneck with 1. Payneck, oh, he almost got the second. I was about to say it. Rez ends up coming out, but inside of Sewers is going to be a 1v1 battle. The spray patterns were not in Yee's favor there, but the rotations are now able to go across the site. Red's Knight has to look for the double kill, and he's able to find 1 orbital strike on the site as well. Does end up going out. Not able to take anyone out. Being Thavron with the op definitely pays off in the end.
Yeah, and Aeon against the world with nothing but a classic.
Yeah, no.
The good thing for him is if he could try to get in with that operator that he actually does have, there's 2 members with very low health. So there's a chance he can get a 1v4 clutch. It's not a big chance, but it's a chance, and that's something, if anyone can do it, Aeon can do it. Doesn't have to run it back, though.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, what's going to counter his whole entire strat was if another Sky Smoke ended up coming down. But, yeah, I mean, just save the operator, give it to your ally, and then, yeah, just go next round. Go next.
Yep, didn't have the run it back. I think if he had run it back, he might take the chance.
Maybe.
But I like the save anyway. Keeps the operator. They do have a decent amount of creds, so they'll pick up a few weapons here. Payneck is going to be the only one without a full rifle, but we'll probably have that Spectre. Actually does pick up the semi-auto, so we'll have a full rifle at least. But if they can't win this round, they're going to be back on the econ for the next round, and that would be V0 starting their momentum back. We're still on match point, but V0 are really doing a good job of defending that match point.
It's usually on the side of defense where you get very, very comfortable, and you're starting to see it come up from this squad. They're getting extremely comfortable. They're on match point. They have a very, very sizable lead over their opponents. However, now is when just the pure will has to come out of V0, and you ended up saying it earlier, is that this could be their time to end up coming back at that. An A push has been spotted out, and they know it. So the rotations are immediately coming out.
Zach gets the trade, has to reload, but Red's Knight's there just in time to pick up the second, keep his teammate alive. Payneck gets a headshot. Wu is going to trade on Payneck, but now it's Mochi versus the world. Stuck in A long. doesn't have the spike. And that is it. The Predators will go 2-0 in the round robin stage, move on to the finals. You'd think with relative ease with the 2-0, but that was actually a very close second half
Huge.
that V0 almost took from them. They gotta pay attention to that and make sure that they don't let that happen in those best of 3 finals.
Just gotta watch out for it, man, for sure. Gotta watch out for your opponents in terms of consistencies, right? Like they had a very, very consistent half. They only allowed their opponents to go up by 2, or at least get to 2 round wins for yourself. But closing out the round itself, or closing out the game itself, is where they really, really struggled, and that's what a lot of teams really struggle with as well.
Yeah, that's the consistency is closing out. That's where a lot of difficulty is. We are going to jump into another quick break. We're going to get the last of the round robin matches. Volume 0 versus BMC. Winner will move on to try to get the run back against the Predators in the best of 3 finals. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this match.
When you want to get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers to see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
Floating through the clouds, a light emerges from beneath the sand. The distant miracles seem so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day.
Greetings, villains, vigilantes, heroes, and heroines.
You're tuned into Project Supervillain. We're your hosts. I'm Mark Drifter.
I'm Midnight White, and you're watching us here on Nest. That's National Esports Tournament based out of Toronto, Canada. Make sure you go check them out for any and all things esports related, if that's your jam. Speaking of jam, have you heard of our Review Jam series?
Well, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, the Review Jam series is essentially a series we review 3 random indie titles made by 3 random indie developers. And our upcoming episode, we'll be reviewing 3 very intriguing titles, all showing a lot of promise.
First on our list is Nothing in Sight, a narrative-driven epic where you will guide 4 French soldiers through their tour of duty in the trenches of Ypres during World War I.
An isometric point-and-click strategy game where you need to manage your resources as well as the constitution and morale of your soldiers while they are constantly bombarded relentlessly by the enemy force.
More of a concept than a game, Photobomb will have you using social media and image tracking to uncover the identity of an assailant who, only moments ago, triggered an explosive device in a populated city.
Using the last few minutes of footage before the explosion, you will use positioning and environmental info to accurately pinpoint your target, but be careful not to persecute the innocent.
Experience the realities of an unforgiving dystopian future from a much more vulnerable perspective in Orphan Age, a deep and expansive life sim that will place you in the shoes of your very own orphan to etch out an existence among the dangers of the cyberpunk city in which the game is set.
Tough decisions, touching interactions, in-depth resource management, and survival elements are characteristics of games in this genre, and Orphan Age presents its own take on these components, and they've done a fine job of it.
So while all of these games may be very early on in development and we're not exactly sure of the future of some of them, they're all still super inspirational games, so we had to show them to you. So make sure you come and check them out.
Make sure you tune into Nest at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, live every Friday, where you can catch our premieres and streams afterwards. That's Nest HQTO on all your favorite streaming platforms.
And again, we appreciate all the support, guys. So until next time,
Project dismissed.
peace out.
She's so far away.
Hanging by a thread, hung up on all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around. And dear God, save my soul, 'cause it is flawed. Tired of Don't tell me that I need saving. Finally awake and living. Yeah, yeah. The pressure inside was building. I felt under attack, and now my mind's attacked, and I've chosen my path. I've chosen my path. Oh, what's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God, save my soul, 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. Upside down.
Of course, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 and the final game of what we are watching tonight for the Nest Valorant tournament. My name is Daniel the Save One Mana. Joining me is Andy Joker Sturm. How you feeling after Game 2 and 1, man?
It's been a great showcase. I was
Yeah.
mistaken there earlier on, and that is my fault.
That's all
But
good. You're good.
it's been a fantastic showcase. We've seen a lot of good plays from these teams and a lot of good things to move forward when we go from open beta to full release product. And if these teams decide they want to stay together, they if they can keep playing and keep working on this, they could start to make some noise in some of these tournaments maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really good players, and I want to see how they actually end up doing versus a lot of these like better players. Yeah, we've seen a couple. We'll see a lot more as we continue to go here. Of course, we are getting the game itself all prepared for all of you for your viewing pleasure at home, but we're just chilling. We're just chilling for the time being. That's it.
I did like the previous games, and we got to see a couple different maps. I'm wondering if we're gonna get to see Split, because we didn't see that. We saw Haven, we saw Bind. Seeing that third map, seeing if we see Split. That's kind of a fun map. It's interesting. Getting word we're going back to Haven here for the final match, which is going to be Volume 0 and BWC mods. So we're going to get to see these two teams go head to head here in the final match tonight.
Hopefully this is a little bit more closer than what we have seen so far. Of course, V0 was the team that ended up, kind of doing a little bit there in that last one. They ended up going 10-0. They were the ones that, 10-2 at the half, and it was 2 for V0. BWC look a little bit more clean in terms of their gameplay. I believe they ended up winning game 1 as well. So maybe we'll see how they were able to match up.
Well, I believe that it was actually the Predators that ended up winning both game 1 and 2.
All right, never mind.
But BWC did have some pretty close matches there, or a pretty close match throughout. So this could be a really evenly contested match, as we do see full A site utility being used all across, and now things are starting to open up. Mochi and Yellow getting kills each side, and Zephyr gets traded off.
The one taps tried to go out, but it's going to be BWC that ended up picking up one. Noodles and the BWC, both with 2 on the board. And I think, yeah, that's it. That was just the very, very clean site cleanup. Wow.
Yeah, the spike went down through the smoke, but it was nice enough that BWC could just wait until the smoke died out and then took down the spike plants. They got the spike, they got the defuse, and now they got the first round. And they're able to at least put something in their pockets. And we're actually going to see if V0 will full save. They will full save, it looks like. But they're going to have to go up against a lot of firepower here early on from BWC.
Really good loadout coming out from BWC so far, as now we see a bunch of Spectres as well as a Marshall for themselves. Don't know who the Marshall is on. We saw it there in the scoreboard, but I'm a little bit blind. It's all good, though, as an A split is going to be coming out once again. 1 over in sewers, 3 over by, or 4 over by a long, but they now want to rotate back over towards mid.
They saw the utility come out, maybe thinking that it's going to be a site defensive stack, but we're actually seeing Speeder come over from C into Garage to defend this B site push. As I've got two, Favron is leading the charge here through Garage doors. That flash is not going to hit anybody, but he's going to get at least a peek. They do get the trade, but that's huge. They take down one of the guns early on.
It's going to be the rest of BWC to see if they can actually get onto C site. That was a lot of C's. Are they able to actually sneak through their opponents and just peek the correct angles? There's 3 of them that are so far looking over towards CT. Grenade does go out over towards the site itself, not exactly getting any kills, but it's going to be the BWC that ends up going 1 for 1 at the end of that trade, but the rest of the team is just completely cleaning house, and now it's just Oni over inside of Long that does put down a stim beacon and is not able to allow himself to get the damage out. At the end of that trade, it's going to be the BWC that take back the site itself and win the round.
Yeah, great play from BWC. They're able to get some flanks in, get some more kills in, and use that aggressive gunplay that they have to their advantage. Now we're actually seeing V0 start to buy up in this third round. They've got Phantoms all around. Zephyr's just waiting to buy, but most likely going to pick up that Phantom as well. So 5 Phantoms against, looks like it's 2 Vandals and 3 SMGs as well. So almost even. But here, BWC, they're going to be a little bit outgunned, so they've got to make sure these close gunfights happen in their favor. We are starting to see three stack on C long from B0. And now 2 through Garage doors as Noodle's the only one there with that Spectre.
Gonna be a grenade shot that gets thrown into Garage itself as 2 members are now rushing the actual window itself. The shots are going to be able to come out, but no kills whatsoever across the board. Rippin was actually on the back of the site, and that's a complete domination. V0, they turned something on in round 3, and I don't know what it was, but they're at least able to get onto the site itself, and now look for a couple of more picks.
They got the guns. They got the confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sparkplug can't make that happen. Mochi will take that headshot, and they are looking... V0, after losing the first 2 rounds, they are starting to look very strong to have full control over the C site. BWC has to back out through B to save that Vandal, save his utility. Try to pick anything up next round, but hey, V0 get themselves on the board here in this match.
Yeah, that's gonna be the round itself, though. V0 able to get onto the site very cleanly. Used a lot of utility in order to do so, and it definitely paid off. It seemed like just the first 2 rounds weren't exactly in their mindset. You know, round number 2, they ended up saving full safe across every single player, which is exactly what they needed to do in the last match. But now, when you finally learn how to do it, you know, it really shows what type of team you can become.
Yeah, and it's really good to see recovery from the pistol rounds, recovery from those lost rounds, and that really you see that a lot in these kind of economic shooting games where the first couple of rounds you lose, but if you can recover, it really sets the tone for your team, and it kind of puts a damper on the other team that they can't close out. They can't continue and get that momentum moving forward, and now that they've got the full guns, they're looking very strong. Flashed in is Noodles. He's completely blinded, but still sitting in Garage windows. Got that Sheriff. Got the track. Can't get the headshot, though. Mochi is going to take down Noodles, and Rippin will trade off on BWC.
What? Speeder? What? With 2. Headshot with the flick. That was sick. That was really cool. Sparkplug is on the site itself, though. Running back has been activated, looking for the last shot itself, not able to find it. But it's a 1v1 at the end of that very explosive fight. It's going to be one more shot from Rippin as he secures a triple. But my goodness, was that close.
Yeah, getting that triple with the Ghost was massive. That puts a lot in his bank, a lot in his pocket, maybe able to buy something small for his team. Speeder really came out full guns ablazing. There needed to to try to do anything and at least try to put some kind of dent in the econ. But Rippin now sitting on 7,000 creds. Even if they lose, he can buy very easily and maybe even buy something for his teammates. But V0, they even out 2-2 after those early rounds. Looking pretty good here with the full buys as they start to move in. Another A split, 2 through sewers, 3 through long. They do C, but Rippin's going to get the first shot.
Yep, it's one already as well. The orbital strike now going out over towards sewers, actually, of all places. It doesn't exactly catch too many people, but not a 1-for-1 trade at the end of that humongous rush. Came through. Thavron did clear the site itself, though. So V0, they're looking like they're in the perfect position to take this round once again.
Okay, and Yellow can't get the trade. Long range with the SMGs just don't work out very well. Zephyr picks that one up, and Sparkplug now trying to make something happen here with the Sheriff. To at least try to even things out. Here's somebody coming in from behind. This is his teammate. So now, 2-man retake. Flash doesn't really catch anybody. They're in a really weird position. He finally gets one, but I mean, this is an interesting defense coming in from V0.
It was an owl drone. Didn't end up catching him out, but yeah, definitely, I agree. It was a weird defense, but it was very effective. You kind of sit on long, you sit in short, and you're just able to take over your opponent's kind of pressure from those two sides. So definitely really good coming out for V0. 3-2 is what we see now.
Yeah, and V0 looking very strong. Mochi, the only one really having to buy anything. Their econ's looking good. And now it's like now we're seeing the flip from the last matches. It looks like BWC are starting to force buy, scrounging together what they can. Sparkplug the only one with that SMG, but does have the bank, trying to save it and see what he can do. Moving forward there. He's got the flash. Can he get anything? No, Thavron will pick up that first frag here in the round.
There's a huge frag at that, but now the recon bolt over towards C does end up spotting absolutely no one, actually, just right now. Oh, it's a huge burn on the back of the site. Oni didn't actually think that was really going to happen, honestly, but it's going to be Mochi that takes a second one for himself. V0 have been just so incredibly clean here on Haven. Get the spike down and just tear up your opponents. It's 4 rounds in a row for themselves. It's huge.
The more that I see this style of plant defense and site defense, the more I'm finding it really interesting and kind of liking it. V0, what they're doing, they're getting the plant, and then they're just backing off the site. And they're taking these long angles, and they're trying to cut off any kind of flank or any kind of lurk position from BWC. And their gunplay is really actually making it work. It's not something that you normally see. You normally see a lot of teams, they'll get the plant and then they'll sit on the site watching those lines as much as they can, but they just kind of back off and try to let somebody retake. I guess they're either playing really passively or they really feel confident in their defensive play that they can allow somebody to retake the site easily like that. Another A site rush, another split. BWC's in the corner. That bomb's going to come out to try to stop a few people from doing anything. Op shot's not going to hit anybody, though.
A couple of mollies going out over towards long as well as it stops V0 in their tracks. There's also one member. It's going to be the Sage that is going behind and it might actually spot out the Sova, and he definitely does. The spike itself now retreating back over towards long, as on the side itself is a 1-for-1 trade. A yellow needed to get the kill, but it honestly just didn't matter at the end of the day because the rushes came out and BWC take their first round in 4.
Yeah, that's something that they needed. Slow V0 down, stop the momentum that they got, make them buy, make them use their econ. They do have quite a cushion though, so it's not like it's going to be a massive effort to try to rebuy. They'll still have plenty in the bank. If they lose another round, they can still get the full buy next round. But that was big for BWC to put some more creds in their own pockets to try to cushion themselves.
This is way closer than game number 2, and you love to see it for sure. Because we have to watch out for the initial picks of the round. My goodness, that was huge. They were able to get one inside of garage window. Who is going to take his place? Right now, they're thinking that 2 members are going to be able to do so. Sparkplug with a really nice flash, but a 1-for-1 trade. Speeder not able to follow up really with anything, as now C's been completely taken over by V0, and they need to get the spike itself down.
Once again, another good site take. They'll get the plants, and they've got really good angles. They can back off through C-Long if they choose to, as all 3 members of BWC are coming in through the defender spawn. So it's going to be a difficult retake. Favron goes back to Cubby, and they do just kind of sit and watch the angles. Speeder tries to come in. Can't get the shot. Rippin' Pippin.
Oh.
Gonna rip through Speeder with that shot. That shock arrow won't hit either. Rippin finds another one, and it's down to Noodles. And Rippin gets 3 to take the round here for V0. Rippin Pippin really popping off and looking very strong here for V0.
I feel so bad. I feel just so bad for, what's his name here? Noodles. Because he was peeking an angle. He was able to get the shot. Right? And then he was peeking a certain angle, my bad. And he moved away at like the last second. Right when his opponent peeked, he moved away. Tried to get back into the view of the opponents. Wasn't able to get the correct headshots and moved out of the way once again. Went into garage and then died. He saw all 3 members, but he wasn't able to land a shot.
That is a feels bad man moment if I've ever seen one in Valorant. Noodles.
That's true.
He is though sitting here outside and just can't get anything. Sees 2 there in sewers and just can't pull the trigger. BWC is gonna at least molly off for now, but gets immediately taken down by Mochi.
Poor guy, but it's gonna be Mochi that does end up. Hey, they got a 1-for-1. Wait, no, they didn't. It's a 2-for-0 trade. At the end of that, V0 able to go into the site, but it's gonna be Sparkplug with a couple of shots onto the site itself that take out Favron. Inside of Heaven is going to be the main lookout area of Zephyr, but you're not actually allowed to owl drone up there, which is massive. Speeder coming through here in sewers has to check every single angle. He's able to pick up 1, checked his corner, but Oni was on the site itself. Sparkplug now having to defend versus a couple. Only going to be 1, which is going to be V0. It's a huge angle that is coming out. Orbital Strike is now down, but they do still have enough seconds in order to defuse the spike itself. Molly onto the site is going to burn down his opponent to minimal HP, 9 HP. Oni on the site stops it. V0 clutch yet another round for themselves.
Oni, massive in that round, and then takes down Sparkplug right at the end. But that was huge. So much delay. That is fantastic. Why that Brimstone delay, not Brimstone, but why that delay? The Molly coming out, the orbital strike, just delaying every little bit, and really doing a fantastic job to put V0 up yet again. They picked up 4. They lost that 1, but they picked up 2 again in a row, and they are looking so good. Oni, that round was all on him there at the end.
That's huge. That is huge. Full phantom buy coming through from V0 as their economy is skyrocketing right now. BWC are pulling the V0 of last game. They are scrounging for whatever they can find and just trying to honestly just buy anything here at this point. BWC doing a very aggressive push here down here in C-Long. 1-for-1 trade as well goes out. But it's another rotation that might come through from V0. They are backing off, and actually, they're rushing Sparkplug right now. He's got a Sheriff. I don't know what he's able to do with it, though.
Yeah, no, that was really aggressive from him with just the Sheriff trying to do anything. We're going to peek through Cubby, but now everybody knows it's a C-site take, and the immediate rotations come in. 4 through long. Sparkplug can't get anything with that Sheriff. And a 4-man site take with ease does V0 do, and now BWC can't do anything. Davron is going to pick up a kill. BWC will find 1, sees 1 coming up across, opens up the sky, and at least picks up 1. That's huge with that orbital strike.
He's trying to look for 2 more here, Joker. 1 on the site itself and 1 over by Long. Playing ring around the rosy with his opponent. It's going to be a triple kill, but he's not able to peek correctly. It's going to be Oni that finishes off the round and brings V0 to yet another point.
And that he tried. He definitely tried there. I mean, BWC pulling everything out that he can to try to win that round, but it was just unfortunate timing. Wasn't able to pick up that final kill. V0 7-3 here in the first half, looking very, very strong. They can close out and go 9-3 into the second half. They've got that huge defensive cushion to try to pick up 4 more rounds.
The potential is there, just like you said. Oh, with a lot of shots going down here in mid. It was the initial push coming through from Sparkplug. He still has run it back, though, so we can use that if he does spot out a couple of more opponents. He does end up peeking and does end up going 1-for-1 as well. At the end of that trade, it's going to be yet another res that comes out from Mochi. He's done it a couple of times this match. BWC has the operator for himself. He knows that he's revealed, but still wants to stay very adamant with this position, and the headshot is huge with the molly going out too.
Actually, that's a really nice molly, even when he's stunned. Unfortunately, there's nobody on the other side to help defend. And now it's a 2v3 onto the B site. Noodles tosses in that grenade. Doesn't hit anybody with anything. Spike will go down. So now 45 seconds for BWC to try to retake the site. And Yellow does have the revive, but doesn't really have any teammates close by, but doesn't need it. Can get one, but gets traded on at the last second. It's Noodles 1v3.
Noodles versus the world, retreating back into CT. I have to sneeze. Whoa! Sorry. Back into CT is where he ends up going. 1v1. Ooh. Oh, it's on the body.
Oh,
does he actually want to rush him here? Yes, he does. Oh, Noodles grabbed it. Headshot for himself. Another flank. Rippin' Pippin. Oh, just kidding.
Rippin' can't get that. Noodles is gonna die to the bomb. Which I guess if you're gonna die, dying to the bomb is better than having somebody else get the kill and get the creds in the pocket.
True. That's true. I don't know actually how many credits you get. My color casting skills are not up to par today, but I can't remember how many credits you get per kill.
I believe it's 300. Is it 2 or 300?
Okay. I know it's 200 for planting the spike, but anyways, you can go ahead.
So it's enough for some kind of utility, which for the Cypher is not massive, but it could still be a little bit helpful. But with Econ they had anyway, no issues. And Yellow's gonna get 2 after he gets blinded, and then walls off garage for good measure. Now they know everyone's at C long. Very easy to defend here for BWC.
It's not what you wanted there. If you were V0 going very shortly actually into the half. I believe, yeah, this is the last round. So they still have the potential to come back here, right? Hunter's Fury available. Neural Theft available for themselves. A couple of tripwires if any rotations want to come out. But they need to find the initial picks. This is really where it all comes down to, is getting into your opponent's mind and seeing where exactly would you rotate if you were on the side of BWC. And so far, they've all gone back to their normal positions. 1 garage, 1 on B, 1 on C, 2 on A.
Yeah, you get the opening picks, and now you can play a little bit safer on defense. You don't have to worry so much. It's all on the offense to try to make anything happen. They are going to creep in through sewers there in short A. And Zephyr has a good angle into heaven. Can he get one? He does know that there's someone in heaven. So it's the immediate rotate from the rest of BWC. Try to defend. Grenade will come out, push everyone back in again.
13. I just realized that. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just saw the time on the clock and there's
left.
literally no seconds. Yeah. No seconds on the clock. My bad. I ended up seeing 14 and I'm like, wait a minute. What? Where did that round go? But at the end of the half, 8-4. Of course, if you guys are just tuning in for game 3, then there's a little bit of a spectator glitch, but our beautiful, beautiful production staff have made it so that the glitch is a little bit less annoying. Right now, the sides themselves have switched. The names have switched, sides have switched, all of the agents as well, but the scores themselves have not. So BWC have 4 because the color is highlighted in red, and V0 have 8.
That's a great way to explain it. I couldn't have done it any better, Saved. That was just fantastic as we now move into this pistol round. Another frenzy here picked up. Zephyr saving that arrow. We'll know that multiple members are there through A long, and it's a huge rush in. Can he get anything? All 5 members on site through A. Zephyr is blocked off by the smoke and has no idea what's happening. He gets taken down by in yellow.
It's gonna be yellow as well as the rest of these members. It had to be Sparkplug that put the molly inside of yellow, but it's ripping through the wall. Thavron as well has gotten very aggressive onto this site and is trying to look for more. Triple kill now for himself. Yellow sitting inside of hell and gets taken out. The spike itself now being defused by this squad as V0. No, V0 take yes. There you go. Yeah, V0 take the round. There you go.
It's actually, I really like that because you get another pip on your ultimate for getting the defuse. So they give it over to Mochi, who is on the healer, hasn't really got 1 kill, but you know, you want to get that resurrect up quicker. So it's a very smart play. I love seeing those little things that a lot of players don't think about, especially in just your normal competitive mode. You know, outside of this kind of team-based tournament play. So it's really learning and understanding the mechanics of the game is what we're starting to see from a lot of these players.
Big thing that I usually learn when I play Sage is that I cannot use her ultimate to save my life. I don't know why, but it's sometimes it's hard to use it itself. But my goodness, let's get away from me and go back into the match because Rippin used the Marshall of all things to get 2, as well as a lot more kills going down here in long. And at the end of that round, that was literally like a 10-second round. It's gonna be V0 that go up 10-4.
Rippin gets a triple with the Marshall. That is not something that you can normally say. Getting a triple with a Marshall, and those were all body shots. Those weren't headshots. So thankfully he had his teammates in there to do a little bit of damage. And now we're starting to see things from BWC. They're force buying once again, getting the SMGs, Sheriff in. They're not saving. They're trying to force. They're trying to push their way in, and we've seen what happens with that. You don't save. You don't establish an economy. You really start to struggle in buying and doing anything.
It's gonna be Zephyr that gets the back of Spark. On the site itself, that was very, very reckless that came actually out of BWC. I don't know why they didn't end up following off of that rush, but it's going to be Zephyr that's hiding right now inside of the smoke and ends up picking up 1 speeder. Does take 1 for his troubles before dying, though. Outside of the smoke, Zephyr gets caught inside of the slow orb. Aftershock onto the site itself as now 2 are sitting inside of Heaven. That's not exactly what you want to happen. Almost the flash coming out as well. BWC, or the BWC, is sitting in this corner right now as well. 50 HP. Aftershock could come out. It's got to be all up to the breach, though, to use his utility.
Yeah, can he use it effectively? Flash does come out, but Noodles is going to see Rippin hanging off of that balcony in Heaven, and now they've got the site caught and right in the back of the head. Execution style from long range. Noodles takes him out to win the round. That was beautiful.
That was sick. Yes, thank you, Mike. You read my mind. I wanted to see a replay. Look at this. Look at our... Dude.
Boom.
Oh. I was literally going to ask for it. I'm not even lying. I was going to be like, Impulse, can you give me a slow-mo shot of it? And I didn't want to put you on the spot. But you read my mind. You read my mind completely. I love this. I love it so much. Quick shout out to Impulse, our stream director, as well as our replay tech. He does all of that, and Yeti, our observer. These guys are crazy at what they do. Best in the scene for sure. But as we continue on into this round, it's going to be 10-5 here as V0 currently up by 5.
Yeah, they are trying to make their way onto the B site for the first time. They've usually been doing those C or A pushes, so One in garage window. Thavron trying to see if he can't find anybody. Moves at the last second, so doesn't see anybody coming through. Again, those jiggle peaks, those peaks. He's not catching anybody. It's unfortunate as they're sitting 3 outside of garage doors.
Yeah.
Sky smokes are being planted, or at least devised, and there we go. The smoke through the wall, but the trap wire will actually catch one out. They do get the trade, though.
That's a huge trade. That's a massive, massive trade at the end of that one. Mochi, actually, across or inside of garage. He ended up pushing very aggressively. Zephyr might get 2. No, he goes 1 for 1, but in the back, Yellow does end up going down by Mochi as well. Now it's just Speeder. Speeder versus the world does not have his ultimate available for himself. Has to land these shots effectively. He's able to land 1. Oh, but it's Mochi with the peak. Came out and landed a triple kill. And that is yet another round in the cross. I haven't seen that disrespect actually in any game. Quick cross on the body of the enemy player. Or maybe that was Zella. I'm not sure.
Bless you for that. V0 11-5 and
That was cool.
Oh, a little bit of style there. I do like it. I mean, it's a fun little tournament right now, and a little bit of disrespect. We'll see how BWC respond to that. They are down quite a bit. 6 rounds down. BWC, they only need a few more rounds to win this one. Sparkplug's going to run it back through A to see if he can't find anybody.
That's huge.
Can't get the kill. But does know there's at least one on the site.
Right, and he didn't even get a whole lot of damage off either. Zephyr does get taken down to 30 shield and 92 HP, so that's honestly fine at the end of the trade. A little bit of spraying going on, does end up getting the spike carrier. So they know exactly where the spike itself is. Showstopper actually not going to land in the corner itself, as Zephyr was able to get out of the situation alive. A couple of bounces with the actual, I forget what the name of it. It's the Spark, whatever it's called. Spark arrow, there we go. And a lot of kills that go back and forth. My goodness, that was sloppy. But at the end of that, it's V0 that come up on top.
Yeah, so much back and forth, but Rippin is able to secure the round here for his team. And Rippin Pippin, 18-10 so far, has really shown up. Thavron is right behind him with 17 of his own, putting their team on their backs and really being very aggressive with these picks. And I actually love seeing aggressive Cyphers. It's really weird because you think Cypher's one of those, he's the utility kind of guy. He'll sit back, but playing aggressive gives you that ult. It gives you the ult much quicker. It gives you more knowledge. Just Thavron's gonna get taken down to 10 HP. That's massive.
Yep, couple of shots in the back. It's going to be Rippin that gets in a huge pick. And it's going to be onto one of these main members. Neural Theft now going out across the board. It's going to be Thavron that takes out Noodles. Another Neural Theft tried to go out, but it's going to be the defenders V0 that take out the round and win the game.
Yeah, V0 looking very, very strong there on defense and close out this showcase tournament with the win, looking good. And again, lots of fun. This has been a great round robin style tournament. It's been a blast. I had a great time.
I agree. I had so much fun here on the cast for sure. But at the end of game 3, man, what'd you think of it? What'd you think of all of that?
It was a good defense there from V0. Yes. They really established themselves on the point. They made sure that any kind of site take they could defend pretty easily. Used utility very well throughout the match. Were able to defend very well and get aggressive when they needed to. And they held some really interesting angles. Got some good kills. That double kill with the Sheriff was fantastic, was one of the highlight plays of that match, and they looked solid, and if they could keep this kind of play up, they could look pretty good as we move into the full released product.
Oh, and that was honestly, that's going to be it. That's going to be it, everyone, for the stream itself. This was our very first tournament, I believe, running for the Nest. So I just want to give a couple of quick shout outs. Thank you to David, Nest Commissioner, for allowing us to get onto this platform and deliver some entertainment for you guys. Thank you so much, Impulse Mike, for being our stream director as well as our replay tech. Thank you so much, Yeti, for observing himself, and as well, Andy Joker Sturm. Thank you, man, for joining me here on the cast. It cannot be more enjoyable. So thank you so much. But over here, oh, also, we have to plug the Nest themselves. Sorry. If you guys want a community to try and be a little bit more competitive in, the Nest is opening up way more tournaments in the future. This was just our test. So we're going to be having a lot more tournaments being taken place. So if you guys want to come on out, then I'm sure there's a link to a Discord somewhere that someone's putting in a chat somewhere. But regardless, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. Hope to see you guys next time.
I would drive 1,000 miles just to get to you. The desert lonely nights might break me, but I'll stand by you. It could take a million days, but I'll see it through. I climb the highest mountain, baby, just to be with you. I would drive 1,000 miles just to get to you. The desert lonely nights might break me, but I'll stand by you. It could take a million days, but I'll see it through. I climb the highest mountain, baby, just to be with you.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too.